Hi Gemini, welcome to your reading for January 2019. Happy New Year to you all. Please set aside anything that you're doing so you're not multitasking and all your attention is here with me on the reading. Settle into a comfortable, relaxed posture. Focus on your breathing for a moment and with slow, deep exhalations and inhalations, release any tension or anxiety that you might be feeling. While I'm shuffling, please take a moment to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to get really clear and relevant messages that are especially tailored for you. Okay. Gemini. At the bottom of the deck you have the Three of Cups here, and then at the center of the reading you have the Three of Swords reversed, and in the outcome position you have the Three of Pentacles. So a lot of threes here. Let's see where to get started here. So I feel that for some of you, this is a time where you have kind of actually stepped into a place in yourself physically, but more importantly, mentally and emotionally, where you're actually able to overcome some, I guess indiscretions is the word. Perhaps you've been dealing with some difficult emotional experiences in the recent past. And I feel that what the cards are expressing here is that you've been able to process and transmute those feelings into great clarity by actually being really raw and honest and giving yourself the opportunity to kind of feel all the feelings with a very radical type of vulnerability that's been enabling you to kind of swiftly process things that have been sort of lurking in your periphery for a while. That's what it feels like here. And in doing so, in embodying that type of really raw, vulnerable kind of honesty, you're able to overcome any feelings of victimhood or overcome any feelings of wrongdoing against you or feeling like poor me or woe is me or why does these kind of things keep happening to me. And in doing so, because you are actually being able to really embody a type of honesty that is very radical and very raw, you're able to kind of transmute a lot of energy rather quickly in a way that kind of pops you out at a new place where the sun is shining and it's a new day and you feel quite clear in your energy as to the direction that you are taking next. So for some of you, you may have been coming out of an experience, whether it's with a boss or a work situation, a business partner, or it could have been a partner, lover, a partner of an intimate type of relationship, or not. This could just be an internal space that you are embodying yourself, where you've come to this place of clarity around some issue by really shining a light on it, rather than trying to avoid it, or rather than being distracted by emotional states that kind of let you get swept away into places that are actually not really relevant and not addressing it. This is saying that you've been really clear and specific and precise and focused on actually processing the feelings that you're feeling and really like addressing the issues that have come up in this recent time period, and been able to clear a lot of energy and gain a lot of clarity. And in doing so, you've kind of overcome feelings of insecurity or lack of self-worth or doubt or feeling restricted by other people and whatever, and actually coming out of a space of pain into a place of forgiveness and understanding and clarity. And so the result is you have all these beautiful crowning cards here that are suggesting, for some, potentially a new partnership. If this is a type of healing that you've been going through in an existing relationship, it could suggest a sense of renewed love and compassion within your existing partnership. For some of you, if this is about your work, it shows you that you have a very clear direction that you want to go in, and that you're steadily and dedicatedly working with head down towards your goals, and having this fresh start. Like, you have these two aces here in the reading, which I'm loving. The Ace of Pentacles card came here in the position of the recent past, so coming into the reading. And this is the card kind of taking you, this is a potential of where you can go with this energy. So I really like this reading. It's really optimistic. It's got an expansive feeling, but with a sense of narrowness and focus. So there's a bit of a paradox there, but it's very clear to me, this feeling of like you are on the up and up, but with a very precise bandwidth of direction of where you're going. And this could be about you opening up to a new collaboration with somebody. This could be about a new project being offered to you, or someone coming towards you that wants to work with you, that wants to kind of engage with you on the level of your technical skill and ability in a way that I feel is very, very positive. It feels very aligned. There's no warnings there. I don't feel like there's any reason not to say yes to that collaboration. And then here, as I said, is if this is a romantic reading, it doesn't have to be. The Lovers doesn't have to always be about intimate romantic relationships. It can be any type of partnership where you're dealing with someone on a kind of close, intimate level. Not necessarily physically intimate, but if you're working with someone, that's quite an intimate experience. So as I said, for some of you, if you've been processing information and emotion regarding a romantic relationship, this could be a renewal of that relationship where you've actually been able to clear a lot of energy and come to a space of forgiveness and acceptance, and your relationship feels fresh and heightened and enlivened again with a new energy of fire, of invigoration, of enthusiasm, of passion, of compassion, of creativity. For some of you, as I said, if this is a collaboration with a person in a work way, I feel that this person who's offering you something has a lot of enthusiasm, has great ideas, is very creative, is a good match for you. There's a real feeling of equality here with what they have to offer and what you can meet them with, and the synergy that creates feels very, very heightened. As I've said a couple of times, heightened energy is what I feel in these cards here. Very positive, very beneficial energies of sharing. And I haven't spoken about this card yet, but I will mention it right now, just to say that I feel like this Four of Cups in reverse is suggesting that whatever period of uncertainty or feeling of lack of, or I feel like it's connected to this Five of Pentacles reversed, the Eight of Swords, and this Four of Cups reversed. I feel like all these cards are speaking on a similar topic, one which is kind of describing having overcome feelings of self-worth, having overcome or processed and transmuted energy around insecurities, doubts, fears, anxiety, uncertainty, not sure of your abilities, not sure of the offers that are available to you, or your ability to meet the offers that are available to you. I feel like this is saying that you have, with your willingness and dedication to honesty and what's the word? Like your ability to participate and endure the process of inner observation and self-exploration, and maintaining a space of radical self-honesty and vulnerability in order to reveal actual truth. This card is almost the opposite of this card. So this Eight of Swords is talking about limitation and restriction, but it's actually a self-imposed state of denial or limitation or insecurities or self-sabotage. Whereas the Judgment card is speaking about your dedication to truth, to excavating and revealing the truth. And having it here with the Sun, it's confirming for me what I've suggested is that you've been able to shine light on issues where there may have been confusion and uncertainty or insecurities and doubts, and you've really dedicated your time and energy to processing this issue by delving deep, shining light into areas where there has been darkness and shadow. And the result is a rising up with a revelation of understanding of real truth with your vulnerability. And that is what enables the clearing away of this, whatever karma that you've been involved with that is now complete, bringing you to a space where you're able to have a new beginning with fresh energies of people coming towards you and people coming around you to offer you things that see the heightened parts of your expression, of your abilities, of your personality, of your being. And a sense of freedom from some of this murkiness around lack of self-worth or scarcities or insecurities and doubts. It really feels like that you're coming into a space now, or a time where there's a feeling of big liberation from some rather difficult time. With a focus on work and a commitment to your personal practice, whether that's actually your work or whether that's your type of personal growth type of work. There's this feeling here of like calm, quiet, steady progression and honing of skills and learning about resourcefulness with a type of humility here that's very beautiful to see. Yeah, I didn't speak about this. You have the Emperor reverse here with this 8 of Swords. And at the bottom of the deck, there's this 3 of Cups. So for some of you, and I might also connect it with this 3 of Swords in reverse here. There could be for some of you watching that this reading could be about a romantic relationship that you have been in or may still be in, where there was perhaps an indiscretion or an extramarital affair. And that may have made you feel, maybe if you kind of knew about it or suspected it but didn't actually broach it or bring it to the light directly to your partner. I feel like this is a time where either you were suspicious and paranoid and those paranoias were unfounded and there was no indiscretion, or your suspicions have been brought to the light and information has been revealed to kind of help clear the air, and forgiveness has been processed and acceptance has been issued, and you're moving forward now, as I said, with a heightened kind of re-established commitment that feels clear. This is not for everyone. I think this is very specifically for just a couple of people maybe that are watching. But I do love all these. I love all these cards, actually. I like this reading a lot. I feel like it's very heightened and expansive, but with a very clear and specific focused energy. Your energy feels really clear at the moment. Attuned. I'm hearing dedicated and attuned. Committed. Clarity. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. As I said, you have that 3 of Cups there. There's the Hermit, 6 of Swords, and 6 of Pentacles. Just seeing if there's anything more here. I feel that I spoke on the 3 of Cups already. I felt that that was a specific thing for somebody there. The Hermit, I feel, is just, it's reiterating what I kind of spoke on here with this Judgment card, where I feel that some of you really took the time in a very, like, processed information rather quickly by just dedicating to your space of meditative practice and inner observation to help clarify the situation, and you've been able to kind of process and move through energy quite quickly, I feel. Feels like a turning point. And the Six of Swords here with the Six of Pentacles. Six is obviously both connected to the Lover's card. But I feel that for, again, this is a specific message for maybe just a couple of people. I feel like this Six of Swords here in reverse could be suggesting that for some of you, there might be a need or a desire to actually go back and address an issue with a specific person. It could be this Emperor. Someone who could have been domineering or a little bit overbearing or bossy, or someone who's kind of in a position of power or authority, whether it's a partner or a boss or some type of business-related person, work-related person. There could be some issue there around your dynamic with them, and this kind of maybe reflects that again, the Six of Pentacles upright with the Six of Swords. It could be that you may feel like there's something, it feels a little bit like a patronizing energy, or something a bit like, yeah, like a domineering kind of unbalanced. This may just speak to the fact that you want to say something to someone in your workplace where you feel like there's an unhealthy imbalance, where someone may be overstepping their authority in some way, and you might feel like you want to say something to them about it. But look, it's just so interesting. This Eight of Swords with the Emperor, it looks and feels quite similar to this Six of Swords with Six of Pentacles. Even, I mean, the colors are similar. So for some of you, this could be your love partnership, a romantic relationship. For some of you, this could be your boss or your... it may not even be a boss. It might be someone who's your co-worker that you feel is taking a position that's a little bit too bossy and taking authority where it's not theirs to take, and you might feel like you want to address this and speak up about it. Okay, I feel that's it for the general reading. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle to give you a higher octave reading. This will give a little bit more information, hopefully, on the karmic and spiritual lessons unfolding and how to best work with the energies available to make the most of the opportunities that are in front of us, to step through with grace and dignity and take the highest learning possible. So while I'm shuffling, please take a moment to just center your breathing again and come back into a comfortable posture and send your energy into the deck. Blast the deck with your energy so I can get really clear and specific messages tailored for you. Four of Wands, crossed by the Devil, Temperance, Child of Crystals, Hanged Man, Seven of Worlds, Ten of Cups reversed, Balance, which is Justice, Child of Worlds, Three of Wands, Sage of Cups reversed, the Emperor reversed again, this time in the position of the hopes and fears. So we'll get into that because when there's a repetition like that, it's relevant. Five of Wands and the Child of Cups reversed. Okay. There's three of the cups from the, sorry, three of the cards named the children in this deck. It relates to the pages from the Rider-Waite deck. You have the Child of Worlds, Child of Crystals, and Child of Cups here. What else? A couple of major arcanas. You have the Hanged Man, Justice, which is called Balance in this deck, Emperor reversed, and Temperance. Okay. Four of Wands at the center of the reading, crossed by the Devil's Play. In this deck, it's called Devil's Play. It's not Devil, it's Devil's Play. And I like this card a lot. It speaks a little bit more to the kind of the way that spiritual cultures have worked with plant medicines and other types of ways of altering states to kind of reclaim and recover energy and information. So that's one interpretation here for the devil's play crossing here at the center of the reading. So for some of you, this could suggest that this is a time where you may want to actually pursue alternative types of therapies where you kind of work with psychedelics or plant medicines or shaman type of different types of work, healing work that touches on kind of traditional, perhaps traditional and non-traditional types of methods of seeking understanding and wisdom. And you have the learner here. This child of crystals at the foundation is called learner in this deck. So that could speak to that same topic where, maybe you're feeling like you're coming into a time now where you want to explore a little bit more deeply in ways that are unconventional and extraordinary. Some of you may pursue your spiritual path by other means like creative endeavors, artistic endeavors. Yep, the Temperance card here at the crowning card. And in this deck it's called art. So it does have a kind of like this deck. I like this deck a lot because it gives some alternative interpretations to some of the cards, especially the major arcana. Yeah, this Emperor in reverse coming up again in this reading. As I said, you had it in this previous reading here in this position, and here it is in your hopes and fears. So Emperor reverse in both readings. I think I do feel like this is a person. I feel like for some of you, this is a person that you have in your life currently. In the previous reading, I feel like it's an individual that's actually in your life at the moment, or someone whose influence is moving out. I feel like this energy, the influence of this person is moving away. But what I sense with this Emperor reverse in this higher octave reading is that I feel that this energy is something that you've experienced before. It's something either past life or early childhood type of masculine energy that you have been seeking to understand, like obviously, a father type of relationship or some other type of masculine relationship that you have maybe had at times. It may not have always been like that. It could just be like the slightest tiny little thing that kind of sticks, it could have been a passing comment, but there's some type of masculine father energy type of dynamic that you've been carrying forward. And I say that because you have it with the child of world. So this kind of like father-child dynamic could be something that you are processing and understanding. And I think recently some of that illumination that I talked about in the first reading, that you may have already been doing your really dedicated healing work and personal growth work and striving to uncover some understandings around different issues that you might have been dealing with for some time. I feel like you have gotten to the source or are getting really close to the source of understanding something very particular about your dynamic with your father potentially, or some type of father figure person, and understanding how that may have been repeating and playing out in some ways in other relationships. And I really feel like you're getting very close to resolving it and freeing yourself up from more of the same. There's a type of energy of like unconditional love and compassion that's coming in, that's kind of helping to, that's the Temperance card as well, and the Three of Wands here is called compassion. So I feel like you're really understanding how certain types of interactions in earlier childhood or even in past lives have imprinted you in a certain way with certain types of beliefs and understandings and then behaviors, and maybe a lot of that has been unconscious until recently. And I feel like you've been able to you have been able to, or you are coming to understanding about how some specific issue has been affecting you in ways that has been unconscious, and you being able to shine a light on it and blast it with unconditional love and forgiveness and acceptance and compassion is helping to eliminate and remove and extract the influence of a certain type of interaction that has been perhaps had its grip on you for a little while. I feel like you're getting to a point where you're regenerating yourself by being able to free up a lot of energy that's been kind of like held in a specific grid of a specific formation of unconscious kind of automation with different people, types of with certain archetypes. And I suspect that you are feeling a great sense of relief after now realizing some of this, where the source of that is and how to free yourself up from its grip. That was a lot of words. Okay. What else is here is the Ten of Cups reversed with the Child of Cups reversed. Justice with the Five of Wands. What is that? Well, and there's also the Hangman here. And Seven of Worlds here is called Breakthrough. So I feel that this line of cards here is kind of all connected to what I just described there about kind of getting some freedom, getting some perspective after having taken the time to pause and pay attention to some really vital details that have become more vivid over time. You've been able to shine a light on certain issues, and as in doing so you've achieved a breakthrough. That's what this Seven of Worlds is saying. And then here I feel that there is some connection to, again, early childhood or just your current family time. For some of you, there is a slight hint here of for some people here watching, you might be dealing with a legal matter revolving around family structure, potentially child custody, and or like the division of assets. And that may be causing some tension or difficulty. I don't feel like that's for everyone, of course not. Maybe just one or two people watching. But overall, the feeling of this spread is very expansive. It's very open-hearted. It's heart-centered. It feels like you're coming from a place of like deep inquiry and process, and it's helped kind of like crack you open in a way that reveals information and understanding that allows you to have a kind of Satori moment, a mini enlightenment where you reveal, information is revealed or understanding is opened up and accessed within you to help then shed certain types of limitations that have been imposed by your unconscious reaction to an old experience that has been repeating. And through love and compassion and forgiveness and understanding, you're able to transmute that energy. Oh, I wanted to take from the bottom of the deck, Seven of Wands, Woman of Crystals, Nine of Worlds, and Three of Worlds reversed. I feel that this is sort of suggesting that there has been like this feeling with the Seven of Worlds breakthrough and this Nine of Worlds harvest. There is more of this feeling of the success of having achieved a certain sense of understanding, and now you're receiving the fruits of your labor as in a way. This Three of Worlds is also called nurturing. So there's this feeling of like having worked really hard and processed a lot and been dealing with a lot in your emotional state, in your mental state, like really dedicating to your practice or to your healing path with a lot of dedication and a lot of courage and a lot of willingness to really like be in it. You're now benefiting from a lot of that labor, and now you're coming into a space where you kind of feel like you can enjoy for a moment, because you've really worked hard. Let's just see if there's anything else here. I do really like this Devil's Play card here as your crossing card. I feel like it's indicating the way through. I feel like for some of you, you're really coming into a time now where it's maybe really important for some of you to pursue some of your interests and your desires, to explore and understand more, or to participate more in certain types of ritual practices that may be very unconventional. Some of you may really be drawn towards psychedelic practices or different types of shamanic group circle work, or working with psychedelics, or working with substances that help to kind of access beyond the veil. I mean, obviously, I do so with responsibility and with discernment and care. What else is here? There really is, though, in both readings, there's a really clear and beautiful feeling of like expansiveness and opening up and wanting to really crack the heart open and really get to the core of some certain issues that may have been types of concerns that may have been plaguing you in your relationships for years, certain types of repeating things that you've been seeing, that you've been noticing, that you've been seeking to address. I feel for some of you there's a lot of understanding at this time, and you've come to some real great clarity on some specific issues that's really helping you to kind of be liberated from some really old stuff that you're so ready to let go of and be free from. So enjoy the feeling of having, benefited from that dedication to understanding and to working into those places where there has been, shadow and darkness, and having cracked open in order to reveal an understanding, shining compassion and unconditional love into places where there has been limitation and restriction and insecurity and doubt. Now you can just feel what it feels like to exist in a new space that is freed up from some limitations and restrictions, and just feel more open. Enjoy that feeling. You certainly earned it. Gemini, I feel that that's your reading for this month. To watch it again in a couple of weeks, you might find that as events unfold, different parts of the reading will jump out and become more relevant and will make more sense. You might not understand any of this right now, but in a couple of weeks you might do well to listen to it again. Thanks for subscribing. You can check out some other videos in my channel relating to this month's readings for your ascendant and your moon sign. Or you might want to also cross-watch for a partner or a friend. Please subscribe, please share, like, comment. If you have any questions, hit me in the comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you. And thanks for your time. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in next month's reading.